Good evening. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of June at 6 o'clock. And I didn't have to look at the calendar for a change. And we're here. I'm here with regular David Wake, the stalwart of Self Pub Fest. My male my not male ego. What's the word? There's my opposite number in trouser form. So we're here to talk about.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
You are the male equivalent of me. We can talk about
I
anything.
see.
We can talk about pretty much anything.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, other than poetry and script writing, as we found out on last Thursday. So we're here to talk about the route of publishing. And I'm just looking at the notes that I've sent David and I've put on the website is get an agent, get a publisher, self-publish or a mix. David, you have you solely been self-published up to now?
I'm solely self-published, yes.
Why did you decide to go that way? Was there a
I,
particular reason?
I was persuaded, I think is the best way to put it.
Okay.
I used to go to SF conventions
Right.
and go to the How to Get Published panel.
Okay.
Used to talk to agents, used to send things off, and it never really worked.
Mm.
And you never really got very much feedback either.
Yeah.
So the next time you attempted to do it, you felt, well, at least they could have sent hotter or colder, couldn't they? You're getting hotter, you get no colder, hotter, hotter. That would have been useful. But they didn't do that.
And they do less so now.
Yeah.
If we like it, we'll get in contact with you.
Yeah. I've never been to a How to Get Published panel where they didn't say, oh, it's a lot easier to get published 10 years ago. Every single time they say, or 20 years ago, or whatever. But never, now is the time to get published. That never happened.
No.
And then they say, I don't know, be easier to get published in the 80s. And you go, well, you weren't saying that in the 80s.
No, things were very different because one of the things I've put on here is how has the way of publishing changed since we started.
Yeah.
So I'm 20 years in. What's it? 2005. So 21 years in, and it's changed a lot for the better because when we're writing, we've got research. We don't have to have a list and go down to the library. Where now we've got everything at our fingertips, and we've got the Google AI if we want to look something up.
Yeah.
But I think lockdown certainly has a lot to answer for because everybody who wanted to write a novel then took lockdown to write the novel because they had the time to do it. And then there was I think a surge of self-published for sure, undoubtedly. And agents are getting more submissions these days than ever.
Well, I wrote a novel where I was trying to predict 5 years in the future called iPhone. And I sent that off to publishers and they took 2 years to admit that they'd lost it.
Oh.
I literally had to wait for them to change personnel so they could blame it on the previous people.
Right.
Sent it off again. And 18 months. If you're trying to publish something and it takes them 3-4 years to publish it and you're trying to predict 5 years in the future, you're not going to work.
And then, of course, if they say yes after 2 years, it then goes to their various departments who can either say, "Oh no, this won't make money," or if they say yes, ultimately, could be another year to 18 months before it's published. Yeah. By which time you've got to the 5-year mark anyway.
Yes, and the marketing person looks at it and goes, "Oh, why wasn't this brought to me 5 years ago?" So it was just disaster. And then I met a guy called Andy Conway I did an MA in creative writing, and he was the screenwriting lecturer.
Okay.
I started to give him lifts home, and he started to persuade me to do independent publishing.
Right.
And it took him 4 or 5 car journeys over the weeks to do it for me. Because
what era are we talking about for this?
2012.
Okay. So 14 years ago, right.
I'm not good on dates, sorry.
No, that's okay.
And And he gave me this book to read, Let's Get Digital by David Gorgren.
Right. Yeah.
And I read 5 pages and I thought, I'll put a Kindle on my Christmas list.
Okay.
Got to page 10 and I thought, I'll buy a Kindle now.
Yeah.
On page 15 and I was formatting HTML. So I went from absolutely dead set against it to an evangelist.
Right.
Really quickly. Because all the arguments I came up with were all arguments against vanity publishing. All perfectly correct, but independent publishing is not vanity publishing.
No. There's a difference, isn't there? We've talked about this before, but if you're not savvy in respect, yes, it's a relatively steep learning curve going from no knowledge to knowing what you're doing. But there are so many, and on the Self Pub Fest website, under the information, it says how to publish, how to self-publish a book. And so it is a learning curve, but by the time you've done a few, as we have, then it makes life easier until it's been a year or so since you published anything, in my case, and things have changed slightly.
Yes.
And so you're sort of learning again. But I think the pros and cons of self-publishing, the pro for us is that we've got total control. But we are at a point where we know what we're doing, and we have learned over the years that to what works and doesn't work. But I think self-publishing, if you're paying somebody, we pay people to do our covers, we pay for an editor, and then we pay for various aspects, somebody to format it, and so on and so forth. But we retain the overall control, then that is self-publishing. There are companies where they will charge a couple of £1,000 to publish your book. Well, anyway, sort of £7.95, I think one of them quotes, up to a couple of £1,000 to publish.
I come across people who've been done for £2,000 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting to come across them, because often they feel quite pleased they've got their book out. And then you go, oh, you were ripped off.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing to tell them. It's awful to be that messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is we've got control, but also the great thing about self-publishing is the speed. We've just talked about sending off to agents. It could take up to a year or so to hear back or not from agents. And I've been through getting the agent list 3 rounds actually with one person. And luckily simultaneous submission. I think back in the day, of course, you had to post them off, which would cost a fortune, to print everything off and then send it in the post, which would take a while, and then it would sit on their desks, and you might get an SAE thank you but no letter if you got anything. But these days you can send out to various agents, and the likes of the Writers and Artists Yearbook, which is just out of shop here. There is a list, I have a list, I email people of agents you can send to. But it does take all that time to do it. And now I'm in the process of publishing, it's a friend of Tim's husband, who's I'm publishing his book for him.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know how to do it. And so and it's not that difficult. And the thing is, if we find that something changes or a bit of information changes, we can just go in, update it, go onto the document, update it, re-upload it, and it's there. If you're going traditionally, we know from one of the New Street authors who's with a publisher, he's found some errors at the last minute and they won't change it. Yeah. And so it's going out with errors.
Well, I'm very suspicious of that.
Yeah, it does seem odd, doesn't it, that they wouldn't want to make it as good as it can be.
The question is that a publisher he's with, or is that a vanity press? And
I don't know the arrangement.
I've got a suspicion it's a vanity thing.
Right.
Because one of the problems is proper kosher traditional publishers have started to do vanity presses to monetize their slush pile.
Yeah.
And so you can go with a very famous publishing house. No, you're being had.
Mm,
Such a shame.
yeah. Well, I'm sure it's fake. I had an email today while we were out actually, from supposedly from Ally, the Alliance of Independent Authors, although it's come from a generic Gmail account, from claiming to be Sacha Black, who is heavily involved with Ally. And so I've taken screenshots so I can share it in the Ally group, and say I'm sure this isn't her, because she wouldn't reach out to somebody, and it's one of my diaries. And the things that annoys me with these, what they call spammers and scammers, is that they're doing is lifting the blurb. They've got an AI bot to go through my blurb on Amazon, and then they quote it back to me in a slightly rearranged format. Oh, we love the fact that it does this, it does that, and does the other. And they want to one of them is a book group. It wasn't this one, but there's another one. So we're organisers for book groups, and they'd love your diary. I kind of think it's not really the kind of thing that people will discuss at a book group. Oh, how did you? I particularly liked January the 13th.
Well,
Love that.
yes,
Love
it's a
that
good day.
page. So most of the time, if it's not to anybody, I block them and go away. Anyway, that's by the by. But yeah, I think the pros and cons of self-publishing. I think the con for me is that we're not on our own, because the whole publishing industry is fantastic. There are so many people who will help. As we know we have a New Street Authors WhatsApp group and regular Zooms, and everybody is there to help each other. And we can ask for opinions on things. And so we're not alone. And people will share. Helen, for instance, Lee, they're prolific on social media. And that we share each other's posts. So there is a whole network of people who will help.
Yeah, I think it's important to plug into that sort of network, because all writers are slightly desperate to get their books out and be loved by readers. And that makes us very vulnerable to scams.
Yes.
No, very, exactly. So you need other writers in the same sort of boat to say, is this email sensible? Is that deal a good idea?
Yeah. Would you consider, if a genuine agent came to you and said, "We love what you do," would you consider, not necessarily with a book you've already published, but would you consider having an agent and still being self-published?
It would be foolish to say definitely not straight off. Of course, I would consider it, but I'm not looking for an agent.
No.
Much as I used to go to all these panels to how do you get published for years and years and years and years. I just don't anymore. I don't even go to the panels. There was one, how to get published. I thought, I'll go to this one. I don't really want to. I'm self-published now. And I set off to the panel. And somebody sort of had to go through the bar. And someone grabbed hold of me and said, I want to ask you about self-publishing. I said, oh, well, I'm going to this panel. Oh, no. Let's just talk about it now. So that's what I did. And this was the panel where the whole audience got very cross with the publishers for being a bit useless. And the publishers were very defensive.
Right.
I thought, I wish I'd gone to that one.
Yeah.
Because I'd changed.
For me, I am considering, they say right to market. And I think some of my stuff is a bit too quirky. I did this one, the Serial Data was traditionally published originally as an imprint of a crime publisher, a sort of mid-list, certainly not agents, sort of one of these ones like Boldwood and Storm, where it wasn't either of those, where they are prolific. They're everywhere on social media. And I would consider going with them if I knew that they would market the hell out of my books, because whatever they're doing is they can get it in front of people. But equally, I'm going to be in the process in the next few weeks of organising blog tours, which are effectively the same thing, because my book will then be going to bloggers who blog about it, who go to the people who want to read, and therefore, hopefully, if the blogger likes my book,
We used to go, didn't we, cap in hand, tugging our forelock, yes, I'll accept any deal that you suggest to me.
Yeah,
Now, if I think of an agent or a publisher approach me, I would say, what is in it for me?
exactly.
Are you going to do a proper marketing thing? And if they say,
Yeah,
well, no, I go, well,
yeah.
thanks,
What's
but
the
no
point?
thanks.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, with that one actually, I had this one. I had I think it was Daniel from New Generation Publishing. I think they are a hybrid in respect that they do self-publishing for people, but they also are also a publisher. And he wanted to publish my book, and I sent the contract. This is how I got it to be a member of the, I think it's an associate member of the Society of Authors. Once you're offered a contract, you can then apply for membership, and then you get free legal advice, and you can then be a member forever. That didn't happen, but although I did go with this other company, other publishing company,
Mm.
and they said, looking at the contract, they're not offering you anything that you couldn't do yourself, so you may as
Yeah.
well self-publish it.
Yeah, you've got people who are
Um,
traditionally published, and then the publisher gets them to do all the marketing.
yeah.
It goes on tours,
Yes,
signing things. I think,
exactly.
well,
I think
just
most
do
people
that yourself.
we're
Yeah.
having this conversation on Monday, yesterday, that yes, a lot of very few, even top publishers, because obviously they have top publishers will have the likes of Mick Herron and Richard Osman and J.K. Rowling and so on, who probably do as little. I know Mick Herron because I took Tim a couple of years ago to Buckingham Literary Festival, and Mick Herron, who Tim loves his writing, did a talk there, and he said, I'm very lucky because my publisher is quite happy for me not to do any marketing. They just want me to write. And the time we spend marketing is time we're not writing.
Yeah.
So I think, however important marketing is, it does take us away. And we don't want to be one of these people who goes on these 32,000 member Facebook groups where the other 31,999 people are going, I have a book, please buy my book.
Yeah.
But it's really tricky. The pros, I think, of having certainly having an agent, and it gets you into the top crust of publishers. Although there are top publishers who have imprints that will accept, like HQ, I think, part of HarperCollins, they do accept. We certainly used to accept direct submissions.
I used to follow this. I used to get the writers, readers, the artists' yearbook.
Yeah.
Every year, and I just don't now. Right. I just consider it a waste of time.
Yeah.
So people talk to me about this imprint and that imprint, and I'm out of touch.
Right.
Whereas 10 years ago, I might have been able to answer those sort of questions.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the thing about having an agent and having a top publisher, is kudos. Because even our local bookshop, I was chatting to a lady, I mentioned this on Monday actually, I was topping up a local book swap library, and a lady stopped and chatted with me, and she's a local children's author, and she said she tried the rounds of the local bookshops, and there's one, actually this was in the town that I was at the time, and they do have an area for local authors, but it's probably about 2 or 3 feet wide, and it's right at the back of the shop, literally on the floor. So you have to go like that just to look at the names of the spines, but they do take them. But she went into one of the local shops. She wouldn't tell me which one it was, but she'd mentioned a few, so I could kind of work out that it was one of the rest. And she said, "Oh, hello, I'm a local author." And this is what she did. She said, "Not interested." And that's all she'd said. "Hello, I'm a local author. Not interested." And if your local bookshop won't support your local author.
Well, yes. I mean, if we could plug into a local bookshop here, we're a huge group of, well, not a huge group, but there's 2 dozen of us who would start marketing for it.
Yeah.
Bookshop. Because we want to sell our books in that bookshop.
Exactly.
It's a self-help thing, isn't it?
Well, looking at your thread, I think there are 1 or 2 in your area who do stock some of your books.
Some of them, yes.
Yeah.
It's one or two, and they're quite distant. So
Right. Oh, okay.
we
Well, geographically, or
yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
And the more local ones have been, like you just said, they're not interested.
The
Uh,
trouble is, every inch counts. Because I had a friend who worked in Chorley Wood bookshop, and their shelves, they couldn't take anything from local authors because at the time the only option was Lightning Source, which is
mm.
Ingram Spark, and they had the slightly taller book. Their standard was the 6 by 9 or 6 by 9.5 or something, but it was
Oh, really?
slightly taller than the norm, and their shelves were designed so that they were exact, because it was a fairly small bookshop, were designed and they wouldn't fit. And because the publishers pay, when you go into a bookshop and you see the books face up, the publishers pay for that space.
Yes,
And,
that's
and so
true.
the local authors
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
have
I
the
think that
money
might have changed.
to pay.
I read an article about Waterstones, and he said he stopped that. The
Oh,
new
right.
CEO, Blake in charge,
Okay.
he stopped that
Yeah.
procedure.
Right.
So maybe that's
They,
not true anymore.
yeah. They may fund the book, the buy one, get one half price, or the buy one, get one free, or
It was,
something.
it's the current world where everything gets monetized, and bookshops were a very odd position because they were selling table space to
Right.
publishers to put their
Yeah.
books. That was how their income. They
Yeah.
weren't making money from books, and they didn't need to because they're all on sale or return.
Yes.
Publisher brings 10 books in, they don't sell them, they
Yeah.
sell them back. So they don't care about the
Yeah.
books or don't need
Yeah.
to care. Um, I heard a story of a bookshop, big bookshop, um, and it was going to move premises over the road. And there was this bloke who joined them. I was saying, oh, right, well, we're obviously going to box all these up, aren't we, and take them across.
Mm.
And the management said, no, why would we do that? That's a lot of effort. No, we'll
Right.
just return all of this stock to the publishers. They pay for the return. And then when we
Right.
cross to the other side of the road, we'll order some more and they can deliver them.
Wow. Well, I've seen pictures on probably Facebook where there was a bookshop moving a few doors down. I think it was something like 100 yards, and they'd put an appeal out. It might have been a second-hand bookshop. They'd put an appeal out to Joe Public to
Mm.
form a human chain, and they were literally passing. They were going, turning around. There we go. Get another one. There we go, and passing them all the way down the high street,
And
which
you
I
take
thought was
lots of
lovely.
pictures, you post it on social media,
Absolutely.
people have had a
Yes.
good time.
Good. Yeah.
And
Good
as
cue.
they're passing a book from one to another, they go, oh, I think I'll buy this one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. But I think the thing is, if you're a self-published author, unless you do incredibly well, you've got no hope of getting on a panel somewhere like Hay on Wye, or I don't know about Capital Crime, but probably Capital
Or the
Crime.
Birmingham Literary Festival.
Or the what? Sorry.
The Birmingham Literary Festival.
Okay. Do
You can't
they
get on that.
really?
No, it's got funding, and
Right.
publishers turn up to sponsor it. So they
Right.
don't want, the
No.
rebels turning up.
No.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
this.
it's a big problem, and
Yeah.
it's worse because self-publishing overtook traditional publishing in 2014,
Did it?
both in terms of number of units sold, number of books
Yeah.
sold, and in terms of money. It
Wow.
it overtook in books first, I think.
Right.
I've got the graph, but not with me. It's
Right.
downstairs.
That's okay.
Um,
It doesn't surprise me you have a graph.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yes. So yes, I think
That's
there's
amazing.
only a few months in it between the
Right.
two, but yeah, now self-publishing is bigger than traditional publishing
That's
in
amazing.
terms of the
That's
number of
fantastic.
units out there. Yeah,
But
yeah.
don't you still feel there are doors that are closed to us
Well, yes. I mean,
as a
I'd like to go to the Birmingham Literary Festival.
yeah,
To be on that, I think New
yeah,
Street authors should be on that, but we can't get in because those scummy self-publishers.
yeah.
We're bigger
Because the
than
trouble
you
is
are.
there is a lot of bad quality out there. But
Yeah, the quality is kind of interesting. When self-publishing turned up, it started to be a force. Traditional publishers reacted by playing it safe. So the quality of traditionally published books narrowed.
Okay.
They didn't take any risks, so the really, really good stuff disappeared and came down. But they
Right.
also didn't stop publishing rubbish. So they narrowed their field of what was quality,
Right.
um, which is interesting as own. Independent publishing, of course, has gone wide. The absolute dross at the bottom, that's
Yeah.
always self-published. There are some dreadful, dreadful, dreadful independently published books,
Yeah.
loads and loads of them. And AI has been invented now, and there's more and more and more of it. But
Yeah.
the best books are independently published because they're the ones that can take a risk. They're the ones that try something new.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you and I, we could have an idea in 5 minutes' time.
Yeah.
We could sit down, we could write solidly for a month, we could get it edited within a month, we could get a book out for this Christmas that we only just thought of.
Yeah.
Absolutely out there. And the best thing going, and better than traditional published books. Because I always think of it like it's a single malt. If you find a single malt whiskey that's to your taste, nothing like it.
Right.
Whereas traditionally published stuff, it's all blends.
Yeah.
And
It's an
then
interesting
there's
way.
also, you know, homemade hooch that'll turn your stomach and make you go blind.
Right.
Mm.
So what do you see the future being? Have you thought about? I mean, AI has its uses. Obviously, when you uploading, I'm in the process of uploading for this friend, and it's still that they have you used AI.
Yes.
I mean, we use AI in every day. There's your echo going every now and then. The circle glows behind you. So we have been back in the day with
Oh,
Yahoo.
mine.
Yeah,
Oh, that's weird.
every now and then. There we go. It's just gone.
Oh, it's a notification I had a book
Oh,
delivered.
okay. Yes,
Proof,
the yellow. Yeah, the yellow ring.
I want to hear this my
Oh,
proof of the
great.
Raven's Way got delivered today
Oh,
with
fantastic.
with the proof band right over the little
Yes.
element that I need to look at to see if
Oh
it.
no. Oh.
So yes.
I can't say now.
Sorry, please.
Oh, you're
Sorry.
fine. Oh, AI. Yeah, I mean, back in the day when Yahoo was the go-to, and I think Ask Jeeves and Bing, pre-Google, when I think that's Tim going to his meeting, and they were AI. We weren't asking a human their directions to the local fish and chip shop.
I was in computer science research,
and
I'm finding a lot of people talking about AI are not using the words correctly.
Right.
Because Bing and Ask Jeeves and Google, nothing to do with AI.
Okay.
It's just a computer system. And the large language models, ChatGPT, etc., they're not really AI either.
Right.
They just analyze an awful lot of text and then come up with the most likely thing that you might want.
Yeah.
Which may or may not be accurate and probably isn't. So I've read something on the BBC website of them putting a lot of AI into Whitehall. So
okay.
5-6 years down the line, we'll have another Horizon disaster where loads of people sue the government because AI did something.
Well, I was looking something up. I like the Dua Lipa, the singer, and she got married yesterday to an actor called Callum Turner, who I'd heard of, but I couldn't remember what he looked like. So I Googled that and saw what he looked like. And I said, oh, he looks like one of the actors from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. So I looked up the cast of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and there was Nick Moran. And so they do look very similar, sort of younger brother or half brother, or anyway, they do look, to me, they look quite similar. And so I put the usual question, knowing that they weren't related, but are Nick Moran and Callum Turner related? And our friend came back on Google, the Google app on my phone, said something like, despite them sharing the same surname, they're not related. Nick Moran and Aidan and Callum Turner.
Right.
Sharing the same surname.
Well, it says sentences that sound plausible.
Yeah.
Until you go, that's rubbish, and you can't trust the results.
Yeah.
The technology is not there, and they also haven't put any safety in. these AIs are encouraging people to commit crime and commit suicide and sorts of problems.
Yeah.
It's insane that people are putting this sort of dangerous technology out there just to make profits.
Yeah.
It's lunacy.
Yeah. So where do you think AI helps an author?
I completely disagree with it. I did a panel on book cover design, and someone said, would you use AI to use cover? And one of the panelists said, no, absolutely not. It's appalling. And the whole audience was visceral reaction to say, no, let's not use it.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely opposed to it.
Right. I think it's great as a research tool. For instance, if you wanted to design your own cover and say, create a picture of, I don't know, a cat leaping over a barrel or something. And then you think, actually, that would make quite a nice cover, and if I did this and that and the other. And then you go off and design it yourself. So it's useful as a oh yes, this is what it would look like.
I mean, I've been a bit devil's advocate here, way, in that I've used it to talk to an artist for a book cover, because you can mock up lots of book covers very quickly.
Yes.
And you say to the artist, I want that, but I want that bit of that.
Yes.
And I don't want it to look like this at all.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes,
it's a way of communicating.
Yeah.
Other than a lot of hand waving.
Yeah.
And I was writing a bit about a detective cozy mystery, and I needed to describe the contents of a woman's handbag.
Right.
Due to my upbringing, I haven't got a clue what's in a woman's handbag. Okay. Never seen one at all.
Mine, not a lot.
No.
Notebook, 2 pens.
Yeah.
Wallet, phone.
Right. So I asked ChatGPT a list of 25 things, all of which I could go, yeah, that seems reasonable. I picked seven rates that seem
Dawn doesn't have handbags.
She does, but I'm a gentleman, so I don't know what's in it.
Okay.
And therefore I could list 7 or 8 things and slip the clue in as well. Yeah.
I see.
So that was useful.
Yeah.
But I did a sense check to it. I think of the 25 things it listed, 5 were probably ludicrous.
Right.
So yeah, it was a useful tool. I guess I've used it for that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't use it for writing paragraphs or anything.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Well, and I find that if I'm looking at Facebook Reels, and supposedly somebody's gone into a rescue centre and seen a dog. They've got a dog that they haven't seen for 2 years, and it escaped when they were moving or something.
Yeah.
And then underneath it says, "Well, this was reported to us last Thursday or something. This is what happened," and so on and so forth. And then underneath it says, "Video created by AI for entertainment purposes." And now you're kind of thinking, what do I believe? Is anything real? Really?
Yeah. There was a South Korean film star whose career was destroyed.
Right.
Because someone used AI to fake something he said, which he didn't say.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the details now.
Well, there were 2 people quite recently. I think one was a novel and one was a short story, where they submitted, and I think they did really well. One won a competition. I think the other one was lined up for I don't know if it was the Booker, but and they were found out to be, I think whether it was phraseology, found out to be partially written by AI, and I just think it's not worth it. We were chatting to somebody, I don't know whether it was us last Thursday when ChatGPT came up. Might have been Monday, actually, yesterday. And I said, I haven't used it since last August. And that was when I was at Swanwick. And there was Simon Hall, a very good friend of mine, who was doing a AI for Authors talk. And he said for all of us to download the ChatGPT, which I hadn't even got it as an app on my phone, and use it, give them this, tell them a kind of book you want to write, and it will come up with a plot in 100 words, which is useful for getting idea. If you have a vague idea,
I think that's up the wrong way round. I am a writer because I have things I want to say, because I
Yeah.
have stories inside me I want to get out.
Yeah.
If I didn't have those stories inside me, I wouldn't be a writer. There
Yeah.
seems to be no point in getting someone else to give me ideas to
No.
write.
No.
Why don't they write them themselves or something?
Yeah.
Um,
And that was the one and
yeah.
only time I've used ChatGPT. I haven't used it since. The app is still on my phone, but I haven't used it since. And I'd rather not. I'd rather not use it for anything other than doing Google searches or asking
Yeah.
our friend what the weather's doing and so on. So
Funny thing,
where do you see publishing going? Do you think it will change? I mean, it hasn't. In a way, it's changed over the last 10,
yeah.
20 years, but in a way, do you think there'll be more of a do you think traditionally publishing will open more to self-publishing, or do you think there'll always be this divide?
I think there'll always be this divide while traditional or legacy publishing survives.
Right.
Whether it'll survive or not is another matter.
Okay.
And whether or not independent publishing survives with all the AI slop that's turning up
Yeah.
is another matter.
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't like to. I wrote my book predicting what was going to happen in 5 years' time. I'm not
Okay.
going to stick my neck out again.
No.
I don't know.
How old is iPhone? Your book?
2010, I'd guess.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Could there be an iPhone 2?
2.0 it would have to be, wouldn't it? iPhone.
Yeah, 2.0.
Um,
An updated version.
I doubt it,
No.
but I wrote a book called Hashtag, and that was a standalone. I'd done the concept, nothing was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I was in an MRI scanner for about 50 minutes, and I
Right.
came up with an idea for a sequel, which I then realised was 2 ideas, and it made 2 more books.
Oh, great.
So yeah, that was quite good.
Yeah. But people will always love books.
Well,
So they've got to get them somehow.
part of the human condition is our need to communicate with each other, of which writing a book from the writer to a reader is part of that
Yeah.
thing, isn't it? And I think if it's replaced by AI, we stop being humans.
Yeah. Well, I think people are rebelling. There is a large percentage of people who, because you don't get the emotion. We write from the heart. I know
Yeah,
you can't get that.
I would say there are certain things that even if AI could do better than a human, they should not do.
Yeah.
And I would say anything creative. I have no problems with an AI doctor or an AI expert system, an expert system doctor, I should say.
Right.
But I'm not sure I would replace nursing.
No.
Even if your robot was better at it.
Right.
I think you're missing the point. It's a human to human
Yeah, no,
thing.
exactly.
And people need to be nursed, but they also need to nurse.
Yeah. That's your next book.
Yeah. No. I've got a list of 5 books I've got to be finished.
By the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yes, the idea we've had, and then we have to write it by the end of the year. Yeah. Not that one, no. Yeah. So I guess these things will settle down a little bit. And the next thing that will change everything will turn up.
Yeah.
Assuming...
I mean, it's encouraging knowing that when I've been doing the agent hunt for a friend and his wife, two different books, just finished pretty much the same time. Every single one said we're not interested in anything written by AI.
Yeah,
so that's good.
I think that's part of it, is trying to cut down the amount of books they have to consider.
Probably.
And you can sit down and do it. Well, there was that bloke who's going to use AI to publish 10,000 books before the year was out. It was a couple of years ago. It's why Amazon will only let you upload 3 things at once.
Right.
In a day.
Oh, okay.
10,000. I sat down and worked it out, and if he did 5 days a week, 9 to 5, an hour off for lunch, he's producing a book every 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
He can't even read the books that he's putting out in his own name.
No.
Doesn't matter how good they are. It doesn't matter how many monkeys are typing away. Even if they produce the works of Shakespeare, that's not the point.
No. No, because you still need somebody to look at the book. We still need second eyes and Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the
Well,
monkeys typing away that produce Shakespeare, they don't understand Shakespeare, so it's not
no,
they're not communicating anything to us. So the
no,
AI is exactly the same.
yeah. No, there's no soul.
Mm,
We have our heart and soul invested in our babies.
yes.
And we write because we love it. And if we can love it and make money out of it, all the better.
Yes.
So we should carry on with doing what you're doing. And if HarperCollins, Penguin, Macmillan, etc., come to us and say, we'd love to publish your book, we'll go, make us an offer we can't refuse.
Yeah.
Let us do our writing while you do the marketing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm quite happy to be threatened with large amounts of money.
Who isn't? And having just paid quite a lot of money for a new sofa today,
Oh yeah.
then same price as having a dropped curb, I was reminding myself,
Oh really?
which we also need to be done. Yes, we need a dropped curb.
Could you not have done the dropped curb first and then sat in the dropped curb?
That's very true. Yes, that's very true.
Well, good luck with
Not
it.
quite as comfortable, I'm hoping. Anyway, thank you, David, as always.
Pleasure.
And I'll see you Thursday for New Street Authors.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm looking forward to Thursday. I realize that quite a number of things will be off my plate either way.
excellent.
Will have been done or not
Good.
done. It's too late.
Well, let's hope the former.
But I think, routes to publishing.
Yeah,
Buy a copy of Andy Conway and my book, Book Publishing, on why you should self-publish and how to go about it.
absolutely.
If agents and publishers come and talk to you, great, but be careful and consider what they're going to say.
Yeah,
If anybody asks you for money to publish your book,
run
run away because they're
away.
scamming.
Absolutely.
And that's yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, David.
Pleasure.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.